What's going on, guys? Random Games. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you my Floodfield Datapack. As you can see behind me, you can have a lot of fun with it. So first I'm going to explain what the Datapack does, and then how to use all of its features. I'll have time codes in the description for each part, so you can skip around, as well as how to install it, and how to customize some of the features. So without further ado, let's get right into it. After you get the Datapack installed, what you're going to want to do is actually give yourself the fillers so that you can see all the different functions. And the way to do that is if you type in /function, and then you can scroll down to flood fill, give fillers, or you can type it out manually, but if you click tab and hold it, it will allow you to scroll through all the options, and then you just hit enter. And that will give you all the different flood fill spawn eggs. So what they allow you to do is basically flood a region with entities which you can execute on. So what I mean by that is there are different ones. There's XZ, XY, YZ, all available space and corners, as well as XZ plane and below. The first one I'm going to show you is the XZ plane. As you can see, I have a region here that's not rectangular, and you can see, imagine if this was the spawn egg, and then it would spread out to these areas, not including the corners directly. And then imagine if these turned into the lamp, and then it continued out. However, they can't be two in the same space, so it doesn't overlap each other. And as you can see, when I place it down here, it will fill into this area. Same thing for the XY plane. You can see it fills in this area non-rectangularly. You can see how it fills here. Same thing YZ. Fill these areas non-rectangularly. You can see how it fills like that. Then you have all available space. If I go inside here, there's no gaps in this glass. I can place one right here. I'm not worried about it leaving because they're just trapped within that region. Now you got to remember that these are all entities, and there is a limit, a hard limit, that you can customize, but I wouldn't recommend it, of 2,000. So if it starts to spread out more, you can see there's 2,118 entities, and it killed them all. And that just helps to save your world from catching on fire, your computer, I should say. Too many entities tend to bog down the game a little bit, so you can see it's filling this area. You can see all the particles, and you can see for this last one, also you can see how it fills. And here's the all available space and corners, so you can see it will actually flow through the corners. So you need these corner ones here, and edges, I should say. It's not just corners. So if I were to place it in here, you can see how there is a gap in the wall. However, these corners and edges, they could pass through it almost, basically. And that's what it does, is it passes through and then passes through to this side. Now the way to execute on the flood fills, let me spawn these one back in as well, hold on. Oh, and there's this one. This one's I like to call it the pool. It's XZ, and then instead of up in the Y direction, it's only down in the Y direction. You can see there's getting to be a lot of entities in the world. One way to get rid of them is to execute on all of them or kill all of them. And the way to target these entities, if you do, let's do execute at E, and then tag equals ran in all capitals dot flood fill, with the F's being capital and everything else lowercase. That will allow you to run and execute, like for instance, a set block command at each entity. So we could do set block, run set block at their location. We can set it to, let's do stone. Actually, let's do white stained glass instead. Enter. You see a ton of commands get executed, and there's a ton of lag. And then you can see all the areas that I had selected got filled. One thing that's nice is that when these entities are in a block, for instance, if I place the XZ one so it doesn't go up or down here, and I place a block here, it will kill itself. So you see when I remove the block again, it's destroyed. You can also do /scoreboard objectives set display sidebar, and then ran.floodfill, and that will show you how many entities in the world for the flood fill. So if I break a couple of these grass blocks and place down a flood fill, you can see there are 10 entities in this hole. If I start placing this back, it's just grass instead, they slowly get rid of themselves. So the first step to use the Datapack is actually to install it. So if you don't have it installed already, I'm going to show you how to do that now. All you have to do is either go on to my YouTube page and click website up here, or head directly to randomggames.com. The link will be in the description below, as well as the direct link if you go to Datapacks and then down here in Creative Oriented Flood Fill. This page will also be linked directly in the description. All you have to do is download it for your game. I'm going to download the 1.16 one. Click the download button. I'm going to put it right on my desktop for now. Then what you want to do is you want to figure out what your .minecraft folder is. The easiest way to do that is if you open your Minecraft launcher, then you go to the Installations tab on the top, whichever one you're using. I'm using this one. You click the folder button. Let me just X out the launcher now. You can see now we have all my stuff. We can go into the saves, and we can go into the world that you want to add it to, and then the Datapacks folder. And all you have to do is drag this in. After you have the Datapack installed, if you're in the world currently, you can either leave and come back, or you can type /reload while in game, and you should see loaded random games flood fill. And that means you know that you've installed the Datapack correctly. Alright, now in order to customize the Datapack, what you're going to have to do is extract it. So you can do that in any way you want, but I'm going to use the Windows Explorer one so you can see what I'm doing. Just like that, and then we go back. Now you can see it's turned from a .zip into a regular folder. Now inside of here is where you're going to be making all your changes. So what you're going to want to do is there's a couple things you can do. You can change the block that the Datapack flows through, the flood fills flow through, right here. So you can set it to just multiple blocks. I have it currently set to air and cave air. Void air, I haven't noticed causes issues. You might want to add void air if you're working in like the end or something, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't spawn currently. But you can actually change these to blocks like stone or something. So you could have these flow into stone and then get rid of this one. And you can have it set block air. What it would do is, remember how before if it was not in air, it would kill itself. So if it's not in stone, because you're defining air as stone, it would kill itself. So you could basically carve out gigantic areas of stone. You can see all the ores and gravel and dirt and stuff if you set it just stone. But that's just an example. So you can see how to change what block it goes through here in this air file. If we go back to functions, you can change what the particle is. So you can see by default, I have the bigger red center dust particles. And all you have to do is uncomment that, or comment it, I should say, excuse me, with the hashtag, and then remove the hashtag in front of whatever one you want. I'm going to show you all the different examples. I have them loaded up into the world that we were using before. And you can see these are in order. There we go. So you can see this one is the red center dust particle, just the regular size. And then here's the one that's set to by default, the bigger red center dust particle. And then we have spread out, which is the small one, but a little bit more spread out. We also have the gray one, mycelium, composter. We have smoke, which is just kind of funny. The XYZ axis, where red is X, green is Y, and blue is Z. And we have the corner ones. They're gray corner dusts. So you can change which one you use there. You just have to uncomment whichever ones you want, like that. And then we can hashtag that out. And then you just have to do /reload or leave and come back into the world and it will reload. And if it's on the server, you'd have to either restart the server or type /reload. And then we can also change other things. For instance, the last thing I'm going to show you, which is really the only other thing, is the limit to how many can be in the world. So if we go into this tick.mc function file, make this a little bit bigger. Let's put it over here actually. There we go. So you can see we have these two numbers up here, 2000. If score flood fill matches 2000 or more, it tells you that there's a maximum reached and then kills them all. So all you have to do to change the limit is not even change this top one. This is the one when the message will come up. However, I would change this one at the same time. You can change both of them. I would change both of them, but this is the one, the bottom one you have to worry about. This one, if you don't set it to the same number as the one below, it will start to run infinitely. So you probably don't want to do that. So you could set these to like 2000, 3000, whatever you want. Those are the defaults, is 2000. I wouldn't touch anything else in here unless you want to make your own custom fills. You can see how they're all defined in here like this. The pool one is the XZ flood fill particle. You can see it's the XYZ, but not Y up. It's just Y down. You can see how I give them the tag rend.pull and rend.floodfill, which is how you're able to target all the area effect clouds. So yeah, that's just about it for customizing. Well, that's it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys find some useful things to use this data pack for. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care, guys. Bye-bye. I split it up into multiple sections for each type of flood fill. And that's not how I want to start the intro. Maybe I should write a script. Goodness. Yo, what's going on, guys? Excuse me. So first, I'm going to be explaining what the data pack does, and then I fumbled my words again. And as you can see behind me, you can have a lot of fun with it. First, I'm going to be explaining what the data pack. I did it again. I did it again. What the data pack does, not how the data pack does. First, I'm going to explain how the data pack. How the data pack. I keep doing this. I keep doing this. Why do I keep doing this? You can see here. Imagine if each one of these dots was this nether block of netherite. I know what this block is. Yeah. Dang it. All right. So after you have the data pack installed, which I'm going to show you how to do later at the end of the video, you can see the timestamp in the timestamp. Yes. So all you have to do is do /function. That's not how you spell function. I have it going into the custom world, which is the world name, data packs, and then flood fill. This should be set automatically. That's an email from my boss. And then go back, and you should see a new floater called flood fill. A new floater. Yes, I can speak. I know.
Oh, nice. What video are you making?
Just a tutorial on how to use my flood fill data pack. That one that like lets you fill in.
Can I be in it?
No.
So you should do this. You should like close the credits and then let it roll for like 10 seconds so everyone clicks off. But then it's just a very end. It's just a voice clip of me just going.
All right, fine. I'll do it.
Yeah.